Well, Lawrence, I hope you made the most of your speech. Now that you're a married man, that'll be the last time you get to speak for more than a minute without being interrupted. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Nick, and I have the privilege today to be the best man. But before I start, I'd like to thank all the people who have made today possible. Most importantly, the parents and the bride and groom, for not only putting on this wonderful day, but for raising two great people. I'd also like to thank the bridesmaids for doing such a great job today. And of course, thank Lawrence and Sophie for letting me be a part of their special day. Secondly, everyone's looking great today, but I'm sure you'll agree that the beautiful bride outshines us all, and it's absolutely stunning. Cheers. Yeah. Now, I'm a little nervous standing up here because I'm not much of a public speaker. Someone told me that to get over my nerves, I should imagine the audience in front of me is naked. But after looking in certain directions, namely at Neil, making me feel even worse, I feel a bit sick. The best man's job's pretty simple. Other than the speech, all I had to do was get him here on time, looking smart and handsome. So I made sure he got a good night's sleep last night. We stayed here, and I can assure you, he slept like a baby. He went to bed twice and woke up over his mum. The sick people took care of the looking smart part, but the last part, making him look handsome, well, the job description was best man, not GD. I've known Lawrence most of my life. Went to nursery, primary school and secondary school together. At nursery school, Lawrence was a slow starter. He was different from all the other 4-year-olds. He was 9. But at secondary school, things were looking up for him. Lawrence was seen as more of a godlike figure. Now, I say godlike because no one ever saw him. If he did any work, it was a damn miracle. As we go together, Lawrence plays a part in a lot of my childhood memories, and wanted to share one particular story with you, and at the same time get him into trouble with his mum. We were about 12, and he knows what story we're going to say. We bought some eggs for unsupposed reasons. We were heading to the park, and just when we left his front drive, Lawrence turned around and started pelting his mum and dad's front door with eggs. Yolk dripping everywhere, and by Ramona's reaction, you didn't know about that. You did, Terry. But now, Terry, I had nothing to do with this. I was shocked, as you are now, but I feel the need to right it wrong. So I've got some eggs in my car, and I thought I could drive you over to Lawrence's house later on so you could get your own back. Moving on. At school, Lawrence was always a showman. Some of the things he did are surely ingrained in Kennett School legend. For example, the day after 9/11, he wore a gas mask into school. Talk about inappropriate. And he collected his GCSE results dressed as a bloke from the 118 advert. Out of school he was no different. I remember he used to pretend to collapse in front of strangers in the street just for a laugh to see their reaction. I see him as the original Dom Jolly. He was doing trigger happy before he did. I remember he did this in Waitrose once, and as he collapsed, the worker there tried to call an ambulance for him, which led to a quick exit for the both of us. Now he's older, he hasn't changed much. He's just not as agile as he used to be. Now I've got him limping around on the crutch, but he's left that at home today. But he's still limping. There's some childhood stories out of the way, but as is customary, I should bring up some embarrassing alcohol-related stories. And whilst the list is literally endless, and it is, I'm reluctant to spill the beans on a number of counts. Firstly, as I said, literally every story is too inappropriate. Secondly, I was present in the majority, if not all of them. Thirdly, I'm not yet married and have Lawrence's speech in mind. And fourthly, I'm under strict instructions by Lawrence not to besmirch his untarnished reputation. They're his words, not mine. Untarnished. but whilst he told me not to say anything, he didn't say anything about showing you some pictures. So if you have, I've got a couple of nice ones from the stag do for you to look at. If you look on your table in the brown envelope, the envelope that says "Don't open me yet." Well, you're now given the right to open them. So yeah, please have a look. I wanted to make sure there was an envelope this side, but don't worry, Lawrence, that one's not going to be in there. There's kids in the room. I'm not going to go through each picture, but I especially like the one or two I think I put in there of him passed out on the table. He drank so much that he had to have a week off work when we got back home to England. I think he ruptured his stomach lining. And the only reason he didn't get home is because his dad carried him to the airport in Munich. This was in between Lawrence sleeping on his suitcase. He's such a lightweight these days, he really has changed. Before that, and get this, before that, on the stag do, he'd fallen backwards off an 8-foot balcony in the hotel room, tripped and smacked his head on a concrete bench, and wet the bed. Oh, wet the bed? No, he didn't really wet the bed, I just gave him the third point there, so the sentence broke. But alas, with marriage, it may now be less frequent that we see him in states similar to this. But he's had a very brief... Is that a thumb or... Just go back to the blood. Oh, don't worry. But he's had a very reasonable He's drunk his fair share. He's even responsible for introducing the Red Bull and Guinness cocktail to Thatcham. And that's quite a legacy, I'm sure you'll all agree. But now it's time for him to declare and settle down with his wonderful new wife. Okay, you'll be happy to know we're coming to the end of the speech, and I can see that everyone's having such a great time. and long may it continue tonight. A word of warning though, Norris has told me he's in charge of the playlist for later on, so unless you like gangster rap music, I suggest leaving now. It remains for me to say how pleased I am to see my best mate so happy. I wish him and Sophie a long and happy life together. But Lawrence, make sure you remember those 3 little words that are key to a long and happy marriage. And we all know what they are. Yes, why not? I find it fitting to end on this apt quote which sums up the happy couple perfectly. Marriage is not about finding a person you can live with, rather it's about finding a person you can't live without. And my friend has found that person. So it now gives me immense pleasure to invite you all to stand and raise your glasses in toast to the happy couple, to Lawrence and Sophie. Cheers.